Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching, and today I want to talk about how playing the victim in your relationship will keep you stuck. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. So let's dive into the nuances of victim, right? Because this is a complex subject and one where we can feel really logically justified in being in that sort of role, right? Because, of course, where there's a victim, there's a perpetrator, right? And it can keep us just kind of like stuck and not knowing how to move forward because we've kind of unknowingly attached ourselves to this energetic that doesn't allow us to really move forward in an empowered and just really conscious and thoughtful, loving way. Number one, nothing can heal when we are distracted and projecting out versus going in, right? So we want to first look at where have we made a situation an us against them dynamic, right? Because of course, like that has a real charge to it because I feel like this because of you. So we're projecting that out. And of course, there is an anger, a charge, a righteousness perhaps to it that leaves us very much caught in viewing another person as our adversary or as our enemy. And so we first want to take a step back and be like, okay, what is this giving me? Is this giving me an air of, certainty, of control, of being right? And is there a part of me that is getting kind of seduced into that, right? Meaning like, we've played this part before. So our nervous system is kind of like, ooh, this is very familiar. You know, I get to just, I just get to let go because I'm the victim. You did it. So I don't have to take deep self-responsibility and go deeper within myself to figure out how I want to move forward. So there can be that sort of seductive quality to victim. And this isn't about like judging ourselves or beating up on ourselves, shaming ourselves, anything like that. But it's like, what's more important to us? To move forward in an empowered way or to get stuck kind of playing this part? When are we going to be ready to come to shore, so to speak, right? So we must ask ourselves these difficult yet critical questions so we can break patterns that have a very sort of addictive, seductive type of quality to them. So this is about, again, going in. What do I want? What do I need? Where am I getting caught, right? Really moving into that deep self-inquiry. So it's like anytime I'm looking out, I'm just like projecting and I need to go in so I make the choice that's right for me. Maybe this friendship isn't working for me. Maybe I need some space from this situation to get underneath it. It doesn't matter necessarily as much what the outcome is, but that you are choosing to go in to take care of your nervous system, making choices from a regulated place, not going into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, not letting offense take over you and this hateful energy just like filling you so you get to be right. And you are holding yourself to protecting your open heart, to letting a goodness and a kindness lead you, having boundaries that are inclusive of what is right for you, right? And just really playing in nuance with this. So it's not like this big wall you're putting up or that there are this sort of shutting down or closure, but it's from this space of like feeling your way through it. And again, looking at yourself, the lessons that are being invited for you through whatever experience is bothering you or whatever theme comes up, and going into that radical self-responsibility so you can make empowered choices and exit this role that we can inadvertently and unconsciously fall into. Number two, it creates a density, a heaviness, and a stuckness inside of our body because if we do fall into the victim trap, we like to feel the satisfaction of being right. You're wrong. I'm the good guy. You're the bad guy. And maybe there's truth to that. I'm not saying that your argument is wrong. It isn't necessarily wrong. There may be some truth to that. But How is this inviting you to be the highest version of yourself? You will notice if we get caught in this, our body starts to numb out. We can't feel our emotions. We can't feel our shared humanity. We can't have compassion or forgiveness or uh, an open heart online. And all of these things keep us stuck too, because the weight we carry is really the suitcase that we end up wearing on our own backs. And so you're not letting go as this sort of weakness, but you're letting go because you know the life you want to live. And you are literally freeing and liberating yourself from a role or from an energetic that is preventing you from accessing and embodying that. Number three, if we're doing this in relationship and we have a longing and a deeper yearning for the relationship to work out, it's essential that we begin to break out of this role, because if we are the victim, there has to be a perpetrator or a rescuer, savior, right? So we end up putting the other person in a very limited role. And wouldn't it be so beautiful if we released all of that and instead began to co-create with our partner, where we have this ability to look at an overall healthy man? That's what I'm talking about, an overall healthy man, not a perfect man, but an overall healthy man. If we begin to look at him with a pair of new eyes and openness, we don't go into it with assumption that we know everything about him. We know his games. We know who he is. But we start to approach him with some newness, where we've retired these roles and parts that we've got stuck in. And if there's an issue in the space, it's not like this is you against me, but it's like, hey, there's something we need to look at together. How do we do this in a shared way so we don't fall into this trap of pitting ourselves against one another? This is a really powerful way to begin to heal this dynamic that I'm speaking of. And it allows him to expand and to walk higher in who he is. And it will allow you to soften and release more and more. So again, it becomes this dance of co-creation instead of like assigning each person to these limited parts because it's old and familiar, and the ego gets a very temporary satisfaction from it, right? So this is the invitation. And if you find that, yeah, this dynamic exists in me, again, it's like, be gentle with yourself. This isn't about beating up on ourselves, judging ourselves, but it's about like, okay, where can I open my heart a little bit? Where am I falling into punishing? Where am I choosing being right over love? And we begin to gently work with those stuck parts so we can totally open up a new life, a new door, a new chapter with not only our partner, but with life as a whole, and really carry this beautiful open energy into the world, because it has a profound healing impact on others when we are willing to work with those parts of self that when we can kind of see that clear choice. So I hope this supports you. I would love to hear in the comments. As always, for those of you that want to take a deeper dive into my work, I invite you to book an introductory call with me. My calendar is open. And in this call, we just really go deep in your situation so you walk away with more confidence and clarity on anything just that feels really alive in your heart. So sending you all love, and see you next week.